Director Ridley Scott is hitting us over the head with a follow up to his 2000 action drama period piece, Gladiator. But are we still entertained? Gladiator 2, it's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Klep Napier for WeAreCritics.com, and today we are here to talk about, breakdown, and review Ridley Scott's sequel, Gladiator 2. That's right, the sequel, as I said before, to the 2000 action drama period piece, which originally starred Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, and Connie Nielsen, who's also in this. She returns as the Lucille character in this film as well. But before I talk about what I thought about this film, because there are a lot of mixed emotions out there, even within myself, but we'll get into why, the pros and the cons. Let me talk a little bit about what part 2 is actually about. So part 2 follows Paul Mescal's character, Lucius, who is the son of Maximus and Lucille from the original films. The gods and fate, if you'll have it, somehow get him from where he is, point A, to point B, back in Rome, where he is forced to fight within these games that Rome so loves to have, which always consists of POWs, prisoners of war, and slaves who fight for their lives just for entertainment. And yeah, what did I think about Gladiator 2? It's no question that no one asked for this movie. None of us asked for this movie. And I think because no one asked for this movie, that is the hump that a lot of people, especially specifically critics, are having a hard time getting over, because it's like, no one asked for this movie, so there's nothing that you can really do to make me care. No matter how epic it is, no matter how grand, no matter how well the acting is, you're still just going to be kind of sitting there like, but why are we here in the first place? For me, I was thoroughly entertained. No pun. I was entertained in this film. I had a good time with this film. I really enjoyed the engaging conversations and acting, the tossing of dialogue between characters. Denzel Washington is a pro. We know that. He rarely takes anything where you're like, I can't take this guy seriously. I enjoyed him on camera. I enjoyed his dialogue between him and Pedro Pascal's character, even with what's his name, Paul Mescal's character, even with Connie Nielsen's character. I enjoyed their banter as well. But my MVP in this film, standing out just solely off dialogue and persona, has to go to Joseph Quinn. I think that guy is so underrated. Well, not underrated. He's just not on the radar like he should be yet. Everyone knows him as Eddie Munson from Stranger Things, and then he spilled over into A Quiet Place 2, and now he's in this film. He plays one of the Emperor twins. They are now the rulers of Rome at this moment. Not fan favorites for people. I actually enjoyed their characters because I knew I was supposed to hate them. And boy, will you hate them. I promise you. You'll either be really thoroughly entertained by their characters because they're so crazy and so wild, and they're just wild cards in this film, or you'll just be highly annoyed with them. I was in the middle. I like them. I like them for their annoyance and their annoying behaviors and personalities. So I thought they were a good fit. There will be some things that kind of feel like, well, why is the story even being told? But the story is pretty much told pretty well in my eyes. Like, yeah, cut and dry. It can feel a little bit like it's the same story from the original because there is an incident that happens with the Lucius character that thrusts him into this world of slavery and prisoner of war, and then he's back into the Roman games. But if you understand the lore of the story that's being told, that's how Rome works. Rome conquers. Rome destroys anything in its path. They pick up the pieces, bring it home for entertainment. That's what we got in the first one, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what we're getting in this one. The only difference is there are brand new players in this, brand new characters, and the story actually wraps full circle. And it feels like it's a cap on the whole saga. I don't think that there'll be a third. God, I hope there isn't a third. But for what we got, yeah, we didn't need this, but it was very entertaining. I had a good time watching this film. I don't have anything to say about it except except the games. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the only issue that I have with this film. Although the acting was phenomenal, everybody's having fun. You can tell everyone is on their A game. They know their lines and they're bodying every role on camera. The games that they have, that they put these prisoners of war in, or these slaves, they feel a little Squid Game-ish, and not even in the best way. When I tell you, like, Squid Game, they have some really wild, outlandish. They're literally gunning for the biggest reaction. These ones, they're not as practical as the original. Well, I know the original seemed practical, but these ones don't really seem too practical. Very CGI heavy. Particularly one of them, and I believe it was the third one. The first two, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. It happened. It's over. Let's get to some story. But then we get to the third one, which takes place in water, so to speak, and you'll know what I mean when you watch it. It really is a little unbelievable. Well, not so much that it's just unbelievable. It's just far-fetched. It's just like, whatever. So I think that's another thing that kind of pulls people out of the storyline, as far as believability and what's going on in the story, and kind of just not as grounded as the original in that sense. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I was thoroughly entertained. This movie is not without its flaws, but I guarantee you won't be bored watching this movie. You're either going to laugh at it or laugh with it. And that's just the best, nicest way I can say Gladiator 2 kind of entertains. That's literally all I got to say about this, ladies and gentlemen. Gladiator 2, I know a lot of people are excited to see this film. Like I said, I don't think it's a horrible movie. It's not a horrible movie. It's very entertaining. Great actors in it. Great acting. But there are some moments in it that'll probably be like, let me know if you're excited to see this film. Like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. And for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, check out wearecritics.com. And I will talk to you all later. Peace.